Hello students. This is the part B of module 5. You have a choice between the previous topic of the same module which I have sent and between this valuation topic. This valuation derived from the word value. First we have to learn about what is the difference between the cost and the value. Both are different, they are not same. Cost is actual amount you have invested for a building, for the construction, including the land value, everything. What are the amount which you have invested to have a particular property from the scratch, including everything, starting from the land value till the finishing part of the building, whatever the amount which you have invested for that particular building, that is the cost of the building or cost of anything. It remains constant, it does not change once you have invested. Whereas on the other hand, value means its worth at particular time. It keeps varying time to time. If you have invested around 20 lakh to construct a house, that is the cost. Its value from 1 year, after 1 year of the construction, its value may increase or decrease depending on various factors. It may become 25 lakh after 1 year, or it may reduce it to 15 lakh after 1 year. It depends on various factors. Depends on the locality where you have constructed, or depending on the demand in that particular area, or depending upon the aesthetic appearance, structural design. On various factor, its value depends. Its value keeps varying time to time. It may increase or decrease than the cost of construction. Cost of construction is the amount which you have invested initially, whereas the value is its worth time to time. At any particular time it may change. Its value keeps varying whenever is required. Now, what is the purpose of valuation? Why you need to value a particular building? If once the building is constructed, you need to pay particular amount of in terms of tax for the government. For that, valuation of the building is required. Depending on its valuation price at particular time when you are paying the tax also varies year to year. Then if it is of ancestors property, and if it has to be shared by the siblings, then also its valuation is required at particular time. And if it has to be given for the rent, or you have to give some for a lease or a mortgage, or you have to take some loan, its valuation is required, because its valuation keeps varying. When at the time when you are giving the rent, its valuation you have to do it may change from time to time. And also when you are giving when you are taking a loan on it, its valuation at that particular point of time is required. Because it keeps varying. Like this, there are various purposes where this valuation is required. I have given this, you can go through that. Now, what is gross income? Gross income is the total income which you are gaining from particular thing. It may be a particular property or a building or anything. It is a gross income which you are gaining from a particular thing. It excludes the outgoing. This includes the outgoing charges or some maintenance charges. There is no without any deductions, whatever the amount you are gaining from a particular building yearly, then it is called as gross income without any deductions. Net income is after deducting all the outgoings, all the maintenance charges and many things, whatever the amount you have got at the end of all these deductions from the gross income which you are getting, then it is called as net income. What is this outgoings? Outgoing are the expenses once the building has been constructed. After that, what are the expenses you are doing on that building for its maintenance? It may be in terms of tax or minor repairs or some any maintenance charges, rent collecting charges if you have an agent to collect some rent for it, and some miscellaneous charges, sinking fund, so many things will be there. All those things are known as outgoings. These outgoings should be deducted from the gross income to get the net income from a particular property. This is outgoing. What is scrap value? Scrap value is uh, once the building life is over, then it has to be dismantled. After dismantled, there will be some value for the dismantled things, that it may be of bricks, steels, timbers, or any other waste materials which is left out after dismantling it. Then it is, that value is called as scrap value. That may be around 10% of the total cost of the construction. That value is called scrap value. After dismantling, whatever the waste materials are there, for that value will that materials will fetch some amount, that is scrap value. Salvage value is at the end of its useful life of the building without dismantling, the value of that building is called as salvage value without being dismantled. If it is valuated, then that value is called as salvage value. There is a difference between scrap value and salvage value. You can go through this differences. This is the dismantled sale value of the materials. This is estimated without dismantling. At the end of both, are similarity is both is valuated at the end of the useful life only. Scrap value is the value of dismantled materials. Salvage value is the whole property without being dismantled. And so many things are also there. You can go through that. Market value. Market value of a property is the amount which can be obtained at any particular time from the open market if the property is put for a sale. At any particular time, whatever might be the time of construction, etc., whatever might be it, at the time of sale, if the particular property is put for sale in an open market, what is its price? What is its value? That is called as market value. Book value is the amount shown in the account book after allowing necessary depreciations. Book value of a property at a particular year is the original cost minus the amount of depreciation up to the previous year. Once the building has been constructed, for some reasons there will be depreciation. That means reduction in the cost year to year. From the cost of construction, whatever the cost of construction is there, from that some particular amount should be deducted as a depreciation cost year to year. Every year it should be deducted. After deducting whatever the value you are getting at particular time up to the previous year, that value is called as book value. Students, these are the still few terms are there. These are the terms which is used in the valuation I am explaining. There is a difference between market value and book value. You can go through these differences. It is very clear. Next is obsolescence. That is outdated fashion. That is due to the changes in fashion year to year and ideas, there will be the building or anything will get outdated. Obsolescence is nothing but outdating due to the changes in art, fashions, etc. If a particular thing has become obsolescence, is it is not like the time of construction. It has been constructed very old, from many years back. It's not like that. It may be, if the building has been constructed with an idea of it is going to be a fashion after 10 years. In that idea, if that same building has been constructed 10 years back, it does not become obsolescence. it is the outdated in the idea or art. Because of that also the value of the building keeps varying. It may increase or decrease. It does not the time span. It is not like it has become old. It is old in fashion. It's not like age. It is not it defined in terms of age of the building. It is defined in terms of its art, fashion, idea, like that. This is about obsolescence. There will be internal and external obsolescence. Internal obsolescence is poor or eccentric original design, kind of construction, utility demand, etc. External obsolescence is original location. It can be of location of the building and zoning laws, characters. This depends on the location of the building. This depends on the characteristics of the building. There are both. Annuity is the annual periodic payment for repayment of the capital amount invested by a party. It is just like a repayment of the loans which you have taken from the for the construction of a particular building, or to have a particular building. You have taken the loans. For the repayment of the loan is nothing but the annuity which you have been uh, which is calculated yearly. Yearly, how much you are repaying for the building, for the capital cost which you have taken. Capital cost is the total cost of construction, including the land, original total amount required to possess a property. It is the original cost and does not change. This is the cost which I have explained at the beginning. Capital cost is the cost of the particular building to possess that property. It includes everything from the land value till the finishing, whatever you have invested, or if you have taking already constructed house, whatever the amount totally you are paying for the owner, that is the capital cost. Capitalized value is uh, this is the difference. Here it says the difference between the cost and the value. This capitalized value is the value of the property at a particular time. It includes everything. That means it may be the interest on which the highest prevailing rate. It's nothing but the value of a particular property at a particular time, which keeps varying. It includes many things. Capital cost is, it is the total cost required to possess a property. It is a constant. Sinking fund is the fund which is gradually accumulated by way of periodic or annual deposit for the replacement of the building or a structure at the end of its useful life is termed as sinking fund. Sinking fund depends on the life of the building and scrap value of the building. That means uh, once you have constructed the building, if the construction cost is around 10 lakhs, at every year the sinking fund will be there. Sinking fund is if it is depreciated by around 1 lakh, or it may be 50,000, by any amount. It may be depreciation after 1 year. In case of depreciation due to the age of the building, in that case, whatever the difference amount is there, if you value after 5 years, that amount is sinking fund. The difference is sinking fund. It keeps accumulating every year. If you valuate that same building after 2 years, then the sinking fund may be 2 lakhs or 1.5 lakh or 1.25 lakhs. It may be, it may not be constant every year. At first year, it may be 50,000. On the second year, it may be 75,000. On the third year, it may be 25,000. So at the end of third year, the sinking fund will be this 50,000 plus 75,000 plus 25,000. The total amount, whatever is there at the end of the third year, then that amount is called as sinking fund. and it can be calculated by the formula I. I is the annual installment required, and S is total amount of sinking fund to be accumulated. I is rate of interest in decimals, and N is number of years required to accumulate the sinking fund. I is annual installment required. This formula is to find the amount of annual installment of sinking fund. This will be useful in the problem which is at the end. Next is depreciation. You can easily make out this. Depreciation may be defined as decrease or loss in the value of a property due to the structural deterioration, use, life, wear and tear, decay, and obsolescence. When the value of the property keeps decreasing every year, then it is called as depreciation. That decrease or depreciation may be due to the structural deterioration, due to wear and tear. It may lost its appearance and its strength, and the fashion may be outdated, the architecture or appearance may be outdated. That is called the depreciation. There are three types of depreciation: physical, functional, and contingent. Physical depreciation is due to its usage, it might have deteriorated. Functional depreciation, it may be inadequate or obsolescence. Function, that means it depends on the user. If the family members has been increased, or they may feel this building is not up to our function level, or we need extra rooms or extra functional areas, then it is called as functional depreciation. Or they may require another floor in a building, then it also depreciation value will be. And obsolescence, that means if the fashion has been outdated, then it is also functionally depreciated. Contingent is due to the negligence or element due to this is for the maintenance. This depends on the lack of maintenance also, the depreciation may occur. There are so many methods to find out the depreciation: straight line method, constant percentage method, sinking fund method, quantity survey method. In each and every method there are the formulas. You have to remember all these things. This will be useful in the problems which will be at the end. Here the property is assumed to lose value by a constant amount every year. Actually, this will not happen. This is just an assumption. Every year it's the property value will not be increased at the same amount in actual, but this is assumed and it can be calculated using this, where C is the original cost, S is the scrap value, and finally N is the life of the property in years. At how many year of after how many years of construction its value has to be calculated, like that. Constant percentage method, here it is assumed to lose the value at a constant percentage. In the prior it is some constant amount. Here it is some in at constant percentage rate, it is assumed to be depreciated. Here sinking fund method, here also a few formula. Quantity survey method, it is the property studied in detail and the loss value due to life. This is the exact method actually. Only experienced valuer can work out on this. This gives the accurate thing. All these things are assumptions. This is at a particular time of the valuation, or yeah, at the particular time of valuation the depreciation can be calculated so that the valuation can be done easily. This depreciated amount should be reduced from the total cost to have the proper valuation of the building. There is a difference between depreciation and obsolescence. Both are not same. There are the differences. It is in detail. You can go through this. Major differences: this obsolescence, as I said earlier, this does not depend on the age of the building. Depreciation is purely based on the age of the building. Now comes the valuation. The valuation of the building depends on type of the building, its structure, durability, size, shape, width, and the roadways and its locality, quality of materials used for the construction, etc. So many things are there. There are various methods. This question or explain the different methods of valuation has been asked in the previous year question paper. There are various methods, mainly 5 methods: land and building method, composite rate method, rent capitalization method, development method, profit method. Land and building method is this method is generally adopted in case of self-occupied property. That means if it is a residential building and if it is self-occupied, then its value will be known at how much cost which you have taken the land, and what is the exact construction, whatever the exact cost of the building, cost of construction will be known at the time of construction. Everything will be known, and in that case it is easy to valuate the building. This method is called as land and building method. There are a few points also, you can go through this. And if this is known, then after a few years, when you are selling, when you're putting for a sale of the property or mortgage or anything, at that particular period, by considering the obsolescence, depreciation and many things, its value at a particular time can be known. Composite rate method is rate per area of along with proportionate share of the land. This can be done for the residential apartments. If you are purchasing some apartments, there will be a proportionate share of the land between the users in a particular flat, in your particular floor. If there are in a particular block, if there are say 100 users of that particular land, then that if that square, if the area of the land say around 1000 meter square, then that 1000 meter square of area should be equally shared by the all 100 users of that particular block. And while you are selling, that share should be there, and also along with that, for a particular you have to work out the rate per area of the building also. That means it includes the share of the land as well as the building rate per unit area, whatever the rate is there, both should be added to find the value of the building. Rent capitalization is if you are putting a property into a rent, whatever the annual rent, capital is annual, annually you have to work out. Yearly, whatever the rent you are going to get, excluding the outgoings, that means the net income which you are getting in terms of rent, then based on that you can also valuate the building. Development method. uh, in this method of valuation is used for the properties which are in undeveloped stage or partly developed or partly undeveloped stage. The valuation in such a case depend on initial investment, development cost and expected profit. If you are taking a property which is not fully developed or fully constructed, if it is not, if it is in under construction, if a particular person is selling in that particular stage, if you are going to take, you have to evaluate that based on whatever the initial cost the buyer, so the seller has invested, and what is the cost required to complete the construction, and whatever the profit which you are getting from it in its lifetime. Everything you have to work out to finally valuate that building or that particular asset. This is development method. This is in case when you are purchasing the building which is in underdeveloped stage. Next is profit method. This is for commercial buildings. In case of hotels, cinemas, public houses, function halls, etc., uh, how much profit you can make during its lifetime, that you have to work out, and then you have to evaluate the building. That is called as profit method of valuation. This is about, these are the important things in this different methods of valuation. Up to here it is different types of valuation. Next comes determination of cost of construction. This is the actual thing which does not vary. This is the actual cost of construction of the building. There are various methods to determine. If it's your own house, then you can have a pin to pin statement of the investment which you have done for its construction from the scratch till the end. But depending on that, you can uh, sell your own asset. If you are if you are buying the property, you will not be knowing all these things, the previous history of the building. Then you should have the knowledge to evaluate any particular asset. Then there are various methods to find out the cost of the construction. One is accounts method, next plinth area rate method, detailed item wise method, material and labor contract method, and comparable method. Accounts method is, if the owner has maintained the proper books for the account during the construction process, then you can easily figure out the value. That is account method. Simple things. Next is plinth area rate. It depends on the if you know the plinth area of the asset which you are purchasing, based on that particular, in that the particular locality where your asset is there, in that area, what is the rate running, using that, comparing all those things, you can work out to know the rate of the asset. Next is detailed item wise method is knowing all the items used in the construction, whatever might be the cost of the construction, you can work out using the current rates and all. Item wise, that means for earthwork excavation, what might be the cost it might have taken during that time, and PCC work for RCC slab, everything. He will be having, the owner or the seller will be having all the estimates in detail during the time of construction. If you genuinely give all those things details, you can easily work out during this method. Material and labor cost. This is depends on in this method, the owner arranges for material partly or fully. The work is executed by the labor contract. If the owner or the seller gives all these details genuinely, based on these uh, things, you can find out the cost of construction. Comparable method is, if the building of similar things has been already there, using all those details, comparing the details of that, you can find out the cost of construction. This is about different types of construction, different methods to find the cost of construction. There are few details here you can work out. There are various factors which affect the your process of valuation. That is the demand and supply, rise in population, cost of construction, Rent Control Act, imposition of control of prices of the building materials, rent restrictions, improvement by public schemes, interest on scheduled banks, abnormal socio-political conditions. You may evaluate in any of the methods which I have explained, but all these factors also matters during the valuation process. Mainly the demand and the supply also matters for the variation of valuation price. and the cost of constructions, and many things will be there. Mortgage, you know this. uh, to have a loan, you can give your property as an assurance for the repayment of the loan. That is the mortgage. Rent fixation, depending on the valuation, depending on the value, its condition, its current condition, the rent can be fixed. So gross rent is net rent plus outgoing. This you know. There are few problems you can work out to explain with. uh, the total cost of a new building is 1,50,000. You need to work out the depreciation cost of the building after 20 years by straight line method. Its scrap value, that means at its end of its life, its scrap value fetches about 15,000. Assuming the life of the building is 80 years. The total life of the building is 80 years. At the end of 80 years, its scrap value is 15,000. You need to find out what is the reduction in the cost after 20 years in a straight line method. I have shown few formulas in different methods to find out the depreciation. Out of that, they are asking to find in straight line method. In that, annual depreciation is found by C minus SC by N, where C is the total cost of the building, SC is its scrap value, by N is total life of the building. This is not 20 years. This is the total lifespan of the building, N. So all these values are given in the question, that is 1,50,000, 15,000 and 80. If you work out, you will get this work amount. So therefore, the depreciation cost of the building after 20 year is, this is for 1 year. This is yearly depreciation. You need the depreciation for 20 years. That means you need to multiply this amount into 20. So this is the depreciated amount, 33,750. So therefore, the depreciated cost at the end of 20 years, its value is estimated to be total cost minus this value, depreciated amount. It is 1,16,250 rupees. This is what they asked. This is in straight line method. You have to observe in which method they asked and read out the question carefully, and then you have to work out. In the next question, they have put it in a percentage wise. The present value of the machine is 20,000. Work out the depreciation cost at the end of 5 years. Its salvage value. See, this is salvage value, this is scrap value. This salvage value is the amount before dismantling at the end of its useful life. It has to be 2,000. Assume the life of the machine is 16 years. If the salvage value is given, then you have to use this formula. Here they have not mentioned the method. Since they have given the salvage value, we are going to use this formula. Percentage rate of annual depreciation, P, is given by 1 minus SC by C. All these things, you have all the values. So if you work out, you will get this value. So you have to put it here in this formula. So if you work out after 5 years, 9,741.35. Take these problems in a lighter way compared to theory. They have not given any problems in the previous papers, but you don't skip practicing these problems. At least have a formulas and basic steps which is required to solve the problems. All the problems are easy. Once you work out, you will get to know. The only thing is you have to remember the formulas. No replacement for this. You have to remember all this formula and different methods. For which method you have to apply which formula, that you have to remember. Accordingly, you have to apply for the given details in the question, and then you have to work out the problems. There are around 15 problems here. You can work out. If you have any doubts, you can come back. We have a discussion class on Monday. I'll let you know the time in the group. If you have any queries, you can come back. So this completes module 5. In the previous video, I have given the part A. Now I'm giving the part B. This completes module 5. Only remaining thing is earthwork of roads calculation and rate analysis. Both the topics are remaining. I'll come back with the next videos for that. Thank you.